joining us today for another episode of What's Your Why Wednesday. Today, I am here with the incredible and amazing Amanda Martindale. She is the division leader at CIC Credit West. And I am just such a big fan of Amanda. She is always so positive and always so uplifting. And she absolutely goes above and beyond for all of her clients. So I'm thrilled that we were able to come together today. All right, Amanda. All right. So most of us came into the mortgage industry by accident, but we stay in the mortgage industry because it's tied to our personal and professional why. So at this time, I would love to hear, what is your why?
Well, I thought about this a lot. This is my answer. I started in the industry and in sales because somebody told me I couldn't do it.
Wow.
That's the why. I stay for a lot of different reasons, but I mean, if you are a salesperson, you're usually a little bit of an interesting person is what I'm going to say, and you're driven by different factors. And someone told me it wasn't a place for girls. Sales wasn't a very good job for women. We're too emotional, and the mortgage industry would eat me alive. So I thought, well, I should probably do exactly that.
Wow. So it was almost like challenge accepted, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So I want to go backwards a little bit and unpack a little bit of that. Okay. So number one, what happened with that person in the future? Like after you actually proved to be successful, did that person ever wrap back around, or did you ever go back to that person and say, honestly, thank you?
Man, I wish I would have, but I did not. And they had a long, great career, but not as good as my career. And
I love that.
It definitely taught me to treat people different, right? I never underestimate someone anymore. It happened one time to me, and I will never let it happen again. And I will never do it to anyone else. That's such a big lesson for me, because you do not know these little sweet, innocent people, these really tough out exterior CEOs, whatever it is, you just can never judge a book by its cover.
Wow. I want to keep going on that track, right? Because what's that expression or what that scientific study that people judge others within, like, what is it, like 7 seconds or
Yes.
something like that, right? Within 7 seconds, people are going, okay, I've kind of sized up this person, and based on what they're wearing, how they're acting, how they're carrying themselves, we've kind of defined them and put them into that box, right? So share a little bit about that. Like, what have you learned in your career, or give me an example? Like, I'd love to hear, because this is such a great conversation to go on this track.
Okay, so here's real life, Laura.
Yeah.
So I'm terrified of you.
Of me?
Of you. Until I met you. Because I thought, oh, she's so powerful. I'm probably undereducated to speak with her. So obviously somebody making that comment to me now as I'm getting older, I didn't realize the impact it had on my self-image, but obviously I'm still holding it somewhere inside of me. And one, I think it takes away the fact that I can never accept a win. I get a client or I have a win, and I don't ever take the time to stop and think, I did that. I worked really hard. Yeah. And I did that. It's there, and then I keep going. And in some ways that's so great for my career, but it's really sad, I think, for me personally, and I'm trying to get better at working on that. But there's a lot of people I find intimidating. And after hearing you speak so many times at the conferences, and then we sat down at that table together, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna talk to her and it's gonna be fine. And I mean, I talk to hundreds of people all day long, but there's still some of those that can seem so intimidating because you're judging them by their onstage presence or what they do for their job, where they're at in their career. And really, I have never met a more lovely person. And you were nice and welcoming, and it really changed that conference experience for me, because I thought, oh my gosh, if you can talk to Laura, you can probably talk to anyone else in the room. And I met a lot. I really went outside of my box to get to know people that I think I wouldn't have normally reached out to. And I'm 41 years old. That's an experience I hope most people get to have when they're younger. It doesn't take that long, but I'm still learning.
Well, again, you're giving me such great topics of discussion here, Amanda, because it really is a learning exercise, right? And I agree with you. I didn't realize until I was, God, what was I? I was 47, the first time that I realized that I was someone, because I don't think of myself like that. I think of myself still as that 21-year-old girl that was kind of scraping by to pedal her way through the mortgage industry. And so that other stuff doesn't mean anything to me, meaning a title or an award or something like that, meaning I don't do it for that reason, right? Yes. I do it because of the impact, right? The impact that we can have, whether it's within our industry, whether it's the clients we serve, whether it's the families that we affect, right? It's for that purpose. It's not for the purpose of the other, right? And you're the same way. You're doing things, and the reason, and you do have to take a moment and pat yourself on the back. You really do need to do that. So definitely keep working on that. But the reason why you keep swimming and you keep kind of moving forward is because you're like, okay, that was great, but now I have to help another client, or I have to keep making that positive impact. And that's kind of what makes you unique there's more time. And you will always remain that way, like for the rest of your life. It doesn't matter at what stage that you're at, which is a positive. But there is a balance of also taking a moment to go, that's good. That was great. And I appreciate you showing that vulnerability of what you just said, because that really is so important. And it's funny, I want to share a piece of that story. So we were at AIM-Peace, is what Amanda is referencing, in 2022, in September 2022. And I have a rule when I'm at conferences, and I've said this many times, but I'm resharing it because I want to encourage everyone about this rule. So I have a rule that regardless of what conference I'm at, when I go to sit down for lunch or I go to listen to someone speak, I try to sit at a table with people I don't know or people I have not had conversations with before. It's very important to me because I'm going to hang out with my normal crowd and the normal people that I'm very close to. But I challenge myself that it's important for me to continue to grow my network with learning about other people and understanding others. And so that was how we sat down at that table. Now, I want to keep going on the story. Not only did we have a phenomenal discussion and a lovely lunch, we wound up then having a party bus and going to another networking event together and continuing this, not planned, wasn't something that we had pre-planned. It all came in that moment of us having lunch together, not that was ever coordinated. And guys, for everyone out there in the mortgage industry listening to this, that's what it's about. Yeah. Like those relationships that we have with each other, with our client partners, with the families we serve, that is the why, right? That's part of the why of what we do. Cycles are sometimes good, cycles are sometimes bad, cycles are cycles, and that's going to happen. But at the end of the day, if we continue to build those relationships, it's all going to be okay. Yes. It will be okay. So on that line, speaking of impact, I would love to hear my most favorite part of doing this. I want to hear a time when you felt the impact that you had by the work that you did.
So at that same conference this year, I met a lovely woman. Her name is Dion, and she's trying to take her career in a little bit of a different direction. And I told her, I know some people in that area, and I'll just reach out to them for you. They're good friends. And I really did not, I just wanted to do it to be nice, and I wasn't really sure if it was going to go anywhere. And it has kind of tumbled into this amazing thing for her and for CIC credit. She offers CE classes, and she just kind of wanted to get this business up and running, and she breaks them into little pieces. And just the connection, I think, has been really, really incredible. And being able to help somebody move in that new, exciting direction in their career is lovely. And it's a wonderful feeling to know that you help someone do something for themselves, do something for their family, do something, because I mean, I do credit reports. It's not really exciting. Nobody likes the credit reporting company, and that's okay. But be able to connect people together is really nice.
That's that relationship again.
That's
what at the end, and listen, we all know we want to do business with people we know, like, and trust. And having those relationships and enjoying those moments together, because listen, I say it all the time, no one ever has to lose for us to win.
Right.
So by us helping other people, we all can win, every one of us, right?
Yes.
So that's what it's about. That's that long-standing relationship. I love it. All right, so Amanda, you got into this crazy industry because someone kind of put the gauntlet down and give that challenge, and you crushed it, and you still continue to. But I'd love to hear, what's some advice that you would give to someone that was newer to our industry? What would be some tidbits that you've learned?
So first, I would say, don't ever quit. There are hard days for everyone, and both personally and professionally. Today, my dad was diagnosed with cancer 1 year ago today. It has been a really hard year, and there are lots of days this year I wanted to stay in bed. But I actually shared that information with clients that I felt comfortable with, and they have been a dream. They have been like, get up, get out of bed, let's get going. And, just checking on you. So I think part of it is, one, don't give up, and two, show your vulnerability, because we're all humans and we are all going through it, whatever it is. And I was a lot more closed person, and sharing it has actually made me a happier person. It's made me more connected to my clients. It's made me value life more and take a look at myself. So, do your internal work at the same time you're doing your external work also, because that's really important. But there are days that are just going to be hard, and they're just hard on different levels for different people. And that's okay. If you need to take a day, do your thing, you do it. But then the next day you get up, you get going, you call who you need to, who's going to be your team behind you. For me, it's my team here. And then we're at the races. We're off and we're running. Let's go.
That is right. And you are correct. Listen, nothing worth doing, is ever going to be easy. And you're correct. Some days the sun will shine, and some days it'll be stormy. But at the end of the day, just take it one day at a time. And remember that, I always say this about the mortgage industry, right? When we speak about cycles, I always say that whatever cycle we're in, we always think that it's going to last forever, whether it's really good and we all think it's going to last forever, or when it's really bad and we're like, oh my God, the sun will never come out again. I promise you, neither one is accurate.
Correct.
That cycles will happen. Some days will be good, some days will be bad, but keep those relationships strong, and we've got it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Amanda, I'm so happy that we came together and that you were able to share your why and your insights with all of us. keep shining brightly because you are amazing.
Thank you so much for having us. Me, I'm just not myself, everyone.
Take care.